It's been a minute since I've checked out any Radiohead music, which is sad because their music is incredible. The textures, the tones, the imagery that they create, it's got a very, very unique vibe to the music, man. They create this wall of sound. It's unmatched and unrivaled in terms of sonics. Now, this is actually a track from their debut album. It's one of their biggest songs, if not their biggest song ever, which is crazy to think it happened to them in their debut album, which led to the band actually not liking to perform the song. They felt as if the track had become bigger than the band, which of course didn't happen. It probably fueled them to create such fantastic music thereafter. They created legendary album after legendary album, and it's maybe because of this pressure that was on them through this track. So let's check out where this band first started. It's going to be super interesting to hear. Here we go. This is Creep by Radiohead. Those great guitars right there on the very first album, I guess. The tone of it.
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry.
Okay.
You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
Wow.
What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care for you.
Okay, so this is actually a super interesting perspective to write from. Now, it's not one that I think generally men admit to, but it is true. At least on some level, you've felt like this at some point in your life. Now, what I'm taking the story as is being like a shy, timid guy who is looking at a girl who he thinks is gorgeous and he can't do anything about it. He can't act on that feeling because he feels too insecure about it. Interesting. Not the bravado you can often expect, especially coming from a fan of hip-hop. Especially, I don't want to stereotype the music. There's definitely a wide range. You know, Tribe Called Quest certainly doesn't make music like this, but there's a ton of music about bravado and being masculine and asserting yourself into a situation, which would be the normal kind of style of a man. And this is written from a different perspective, you know. And there's of course a range of people out there who would feel like this, and it's cool to hear this. Very funny lyrics at times when he says, "I'm a weirdo. Why would you like me? I'm a weirdo." Let's keep this rolling. Great guitars once again. They seem to have had that right from the start.
I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but
This
I'm
bit is
a
crazy.
creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Is this like the incel anthem? Is this like alluding to this kind of community of men before people really understood it the way that they did nowadays? You know, of course, incel, I'm sure some of you guys know what it is. It's like involuntarily celibate guys who cannot help themselves and can't get any girls. This is like a little bit ahead of his time, maybe the perspective to write from this guy. Really interesting style, especially that second verse there, where he's speaking very openly about the fact that he's insecure about himself. I want a perfect body, I want a perfect soul. So also the idea that a guy like this doesn't realize that that's not really necessary to have to get yourself a girlfriend. I want a perfect body. Interesting. I'm going to ask a question before we get into the outro. Is this song creepy as the album, as the title alludes, or is it endearing? Like, what version of this, where do you take it? In one way, I think if you just were to read the thing like a diary without the delivery of it, what would you take from it? Because if it was maybe written from another singer or sung by another singer, or you even change the perspective to a girl, it turns to be more sweeter. Like, oh, this is actually like kind of sad that this person can't express themselves and they want this other person to know that they're special and that they love everything about them, but they can't do it. That perspective is sweet. And then there's this other thing of this kind of dude in the corner of a bar staring at a girl, just like shaking, not knowing what to do. It turns into something way creepier.
Whatever you want.
That was a crazy ending.
You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Great track, great track. That ending of that bridge was so crazy. It was so manic in the musical output there, like the instrumentation, which they do always. And he had that vocal that he mastered later on, but he had it right in the beginning of the debut album when he really lets go and gets kind of as part of this wall of sound with that run part. When he was saying she running out the door, I took it as like run away from me, especially that last version of run that he delivers. He's like run away from me. Lastly, I want to say, is this like them being a very forward-thinking band? They kind of, I would say, is a great example. This track is a great example of like music turning insular. Like the lyrics and stuff during the 90s took a turn to be more like a diary, which I don't think was really the case beforehand as often as it was after. Think of bands like Nirvana, this band Tool. The lyrics really turn into this very personal, diary-esque kind of writing. Even the concepts of the records are like these really personal things, which maybe wasn't the case in rock music beforehand. So you start to see this turn happening. Really interesting. Lastly, again, you guys let me know. Do you think it's a creepy track or a sweet track? What did you take it as? I took it as being a creepy track. Not in a bad way. The song is fantastic. I'm saying the perspective of it, the delivery, as he's saying he's a weirdo, he's a creep. But again, if you just read it, whatever makes you happy, whatever you want, you're so fucking special. It's a bit weird, but it's kind of sweet. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on the last one. On the next one.